Welcome to the Deep Dive. Our mission today, as always, is to cut through the noise and give you a really solid understanding of the most significant developments from June 2025.
Yeah,
We've gone through, honestly, a stack of dense but fascinating material. Covers everything from, major infrastructure, scientific leaps, to big economic shifts in foreign relations.
that's right.
Yeah.
Think of this as your, let's say, shortcut to being genuinely well-informed on the key events this month. We'll pull out the vital nuggets, connect the dots for you.
And explain not just what happened, but why it matters, especially if you're building that robust knowledge base, say, for competitive exams or just staying ahead.
Exactly. Okay, let's unpack this.
All right, we begin with a look at India's firsts and some major national advancements. It's been a month of, well, significant milestones, particularly when you look at infrastructure and tech leaps, stuff that's really pushing the envelope.
Indeed, the sheer breadth of these developments, it really highlights India's rapid progress across, quite diverse sectors. Let's start with some truly remarkable infrastructure marvels. India's first cable-stayed rail bridge, the Anji Bridge, is now complete.
Ah, yes, the Anji Ghat. Where is that located again?
It's in the Riyazi district of Jammu and Kashmir. Pretty challenging terrain there. It's built over the Anji River, which is a tributary of the Chenab. Konkan Railway handled the construction.
Okay. And its main function?
It connects Katra and Riyazi. It's a really crucial part of the larger Udhampur-Srinagar-Baramulla rail link. That's the USBRL project. And what's important here isn't just that it's India's second highest railway bridge. Only the Chenab rail bridge is higher.
Right.
But it's also tied into these extensive, 46,000 crore development projects happening in J&K.
And the Anji Bridge isn't the only massive infrastructure story coming out of Jammu and Kashmir this month, is it? I mean, the whole USBRL project seems like a huge deal.
Oh, absolutely. The completion of the entire 272-kilometer USBRL project finally connects Kashmir Valley by rail. This was a monumental task, started way back in 1997.
Wow, 97.
Yeah. Both the Anji Bridge and the Chenab Bridge are integral to this. And the Chenab Bridge itself, well, that's the world's highest railway arch bridge. Stands 359 meters above the Chenab River.
Famously higher than the Eiffel Tower, I remember reading.
Exactly. It's a major statement.
So, connecting Kashmir by rail after all this time, what does that actually mean for the region and for India?
It's transformative, really. Think of it as a lifeline. It integrates a historically somewhat isolated region right into the national mainstream. Easier movement of people, goods.
Opens up economic opportunities.
Significant economic opportunities, yes. And frankly, it demonstrates India's engineering capability in overcoming some pretty extreme geographical challenges. Plus, adding to that, India's longest operational rail tunnel, the 12.75-kilometer T50, is also part of this USBRL link. And the region also celebrated its first Vande Bharat Express, flagged off from Katra to Srinagar, another symbol of modern connectivity reaching the valley.
Okay, moving to the maritime sector now. We're seeing a significant push there too, right? Both financially and technologically. Sounds like it could really transform India's coastal economy.
That's the plan. India's first dedicated maritime sector non-banking financial company, an NBFC, has been officially registered with the RBI.
And that's the Sagarmala Finance Corporation Limited, SMFCL.
Correct. It was formerly the Sagarmala Development Company Limited, but now it's SMFCL. And it's been classified as a mini Ratna, Category I Central Public Sector Enterprise.
Mini Ratna status. That gives it more autonomy, right? Financial powers.
Exactly. This isn't just another financial institution. It's a very strategic move under the Maritime Amrit Kaal Vision 2047. It's specifically designed to bridge those critical funding gaps you see in maritime infrastructure. And it offers tailored financial products for everyone involved, ports, shipping firms, even startups in the sector.
So it de-risks private investment, essentially. Helps accelerate growth.
Precisely. It positions India to become a global maritime powerhouse. And linked to that, the Ministry of Ports, Shipping, and Waterways has also driven some key tech pushes.
Like what?
Well, there's an MAU with CDAC to set up a digital center of excellence.
Yeah.
That's all about enhancing digital transformation in the sector. They also launched the Sagar Setu platform. This integrates over 80 ports for paperless XM services. Think improved operational efficiency, aligned with the PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan.
Paperless is always good.
Always. Then there's the DOSHI framework. It's a comprehensive monitoring system designed to fast-track how they implement these maritime vision documents. And a new standardized scale of rates, or SOR template, was launched too for more transparency in port tariffs.
Okay, lots of streamlining there.
But what's particularly insightful, I think, is the Gateway to Green report. This outlines a clear roadmap for Indian ports to become hubs for green hydrogen production, storage, export.
Green hydrogen hubs.
Yeah.
That's ambitious.
It is. But it's a blueprint for sustainable economic growth, and it really signals India's commitment to clean energy transition.
All right, shifting now to scientific and technological frontiers. We're seeing India expand its footprint quite literally, venturing into new domains.
We are. India is building its first ever polar research vessel, the PRV. This is happening through an MO between Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers GRSE and Norway's Kongsberg.
Kongsberg providing the design expertise.
That's right. But it'll be indigenously built by GRSE. This vessel is specifically for the National Center for Polar and Ocean Research, NCOPR.
Building such a specialized vessel, plus India participating for the first time in North Shipping 2025 in Oslo, that suggests a growing strategic interest in polar regions, doesn't it?
Absolutely. This PRV isn't just a ship. It signifies India's commitment to cutting-edge climate science, Arctic and Antarctic research. It definitely expands India's geopolitical influence in those crucial polar areas.
And during North Shipping, India also emphasized its commitment of, USD 20 billion for infrastructure development.
Yes, focused on enhancing multimodal logistics and port connectivity. It all ties together. We've also seen India's first variable speed pump storage plant, or PSP, see its first unit become operational. That's set up by THDC India Limited in Terry, Uttarakhand.
PSPs are crucial for grid stability with renewables, right? Storing energy.
Exactly. A big step for managing renewable energy integration. And for virological research, a major development. India's first high-performance computing cluster, the HPC cluster, named Nakshatra.
Nakshatra, where's that based?
It was inaugurated at the National Institute of Virology, NIV, in Pune. This dramatically boosts the nation's capacity for rapid disease research, modeling, vaccine development, things like that.
Okay, significant boost there. Now, what about the drone sector? I hear there's been movement there, too.
Yes. India's first hub, specifically for the design, manufacturing, and rigorous testing of advanced unmanned aerial systems, UAS, was inaugurated in Chennai.
And this is Garuda Aerospace's facility.
Correct. Their agri-drone indigenization facility. They've also launched a Train the Trainer program and 300 centers of excellence across the country. It really reinforces their position as India's first drone company to hold dual DGCA certifications, one for manufacturing and one for training.
So what does this mean practically for agriculture, for India's overall drone capabilities?
It's a dual win, really. On one hand, it positions India as a leader in drone manufacturing and innovation, pushing towards that self-reliance goal at Atmanirbhar Bharat. On the other, it provides critical tools for modernizing agriculture. Think improved efficiency in farming tasks like spraying, mapping, surveillance. It can also help address labor shortages.
Makes sense. And energy and utility innovation. I saw something about an India Energy Stack.
Right. A task force for the India Energy Stack, or IES, and something called the Utility Intelligence Platform, or UIP, was announced, spearheaded by the Ministry of Power. It's being chaired by Dr. Ram Sawak Sharma, mentored by Nan Nilekani, so some heavy hitters involved.
Definitely. What's the aim?
The aim is to develop a national roadmap for this IES, oversee a proof of concept for the UIP, and basically design a unified digital public infrastructure, a DPI for the entire power sector.
A DPI for power, like UPI, but for electricity, data, and services.
Sort of analogous, yeah. Enabling standardization, interoperability. Think of the UIP itself as the power grid's smart dashboard. It gives real-time data analytics, helps the electricity distribution companies, the discoms, operate more efficiently, predict demand, maybe even minimize outages.
Which ultimately means more reliable power for consumers.
That's the goal. They're doing pilot testing right now in Mumbai, Gujarat, and Delhi to iron out the kinks.
Okay, let's move to governance and India's international standing. Big news here. India has won the presidency of the International Institute of Administrative Sciences, the IIAS.
Yes, for the first time ever. For the period 2025-2028, V. Srinivas, who is the Secretary for the Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances, DARPG, will serve in this role.
And India won this against Austria.
That's right, during a meeting in Brussels. The DARPG has represented India at IIAS since 1998, so this is a culmination of long-standing engagement. It's a clear sign of India's growing influence in global administrative practices and public policy debates.
Definitely a recognition of India's own administrative reforms and expertise. What about e-governance domestically?
Well, the 22nd National Awards for E-Governance 2025, run by DARPG, included Gram Panchayats for the first time this year.
Ah, recognizing grassroots digital innovation.
Exactly. Awards went to Rohini Gram Panchayat in Maharashtra, gold, and West Majlishpur Gram Panchayat in Tripura, silver. And they came with financial incentives, too. These awards were part of the 28th National Conference on E-Governance, held in Visakhapatnam. The theme was Viksit Bharat, Civil Service and Digital Transformation. Shows that clear focus on digital empowerment right down to the foundational level.
And boosting indigenous telecom R&D, there was a symposium.
Yes. The first Telecom Technology Development Fund, or TTDF, symposium, was held at IIT Madras. It's a collaborative effort to really drive next-generation R&D in telecom tech. The TTDF itself was launched back in 2022. It's a flagship scheme to boost homegrown R&D, bridge the digital divide, especially for rural areas.
So the goal is synergy between academia, startups, industry.
Right, promoting technology ownership, indigenous manufacturing, creating intellectual property, really pushing for self-reliance in what's obviously a critical sector.
Now here's where it gets really fascinating on the diplomatic front. Prime Minister Narendra Modi became the first Indian prime minister to receive the highest number of foreign state honors during his tenure.
That's correct. He was recently conferred with Cyprus's highest civilian award, the Grand Cross of the Order of Makarios III.
And this was during the first visit by an Indian TM to Cyprus in over 2 decades.
Yes, a very significant milestone visit. And as of 2025, PM Modi has received a total of 28 top international state honors since 2016. His first was the Order of Abdulaziz from Saudi Arabia. It's quite a tally, a clear indicator of India's increasing global stature.
Absolutely. The PM's visit to Cyprus itself, it involved more than just the award, right? There was a joint declaration.
Yes, a joint declaration for a comprehensive partnership and also a 5-year joint action plan. Both countries agreed to boost cooperation in areas like aviation, shipping, digital payments, cross-border trade, a whole range.
What was the strategic importance of this visit, especially considering Cyprus's future role in the EU?
Well, the timing is key. Cyprus is set to hold the EU Council presidency in 2026.
Oh, okay.
So this visit could significantly bolster India-EU ties down the line. Plus, Cyprus serves as a strategic bridge in the India-Middle East-Europe Economic Corridor, the IMEC.
Right, the IMEC connection. Were there specific agreements signed?
Yes. Key MOUs included one between the NSE International Exchange and the Cyprus Stock Exchange, focusing on financial services cooperation. And another important one between NIPL, that's MPCI International Payments Limited, and Eurobank Cyprus, to introduce UPI for cross-border payments.
UPI in Cyprus, that directly benefits tourists, businesses?
Definitely. It highlights India's increasing economic integration and influence in these strategic corridors. Also worth noting, Cyprus is actually among the top 10 investors in India.
Interesting. And that wasn't the only first for the PM's visits, was it? Croatia, too.
Correct. He also became the first Indian prime minister to visit Croatia. MOUs were signed there in agriculture, science, and tech and culture. They also extended the MOU for the Indian Council for Cultural Relations Hindi chair at Zagreb University until 2030, highlighting those strong cultural links.
And Croatia's location, another gateway.
Yes. Its location on the Adriatic Sea is seen as a crucial gateway to Europe for India, especially, again, for the IM8 corridor. These visits clearly demonstrate a concerted effort to broaden India's diplomatic and economic reach, looking beyond just the traditional partners.
Okay, beyond the big-ticket infrastructure projects and those diplomatic wins, there's always a lot of, let's say, quieter but equally impactful work happening across governance and national initiatives.
Exactly.
These are often the details that reveal the underlying shifts in policy, the things that directly impact citizens day to day.
Precisely. This next section really sheds light on how India is addressing things like citizen welfare, digital transformation, and promoting sustainable practices. Let's start with some government initiatives aimed at citizen welfare. The 25th edition of the Fit India Sundays on Cycle campaign was observed as a special Tiranga rally.
Aligning with World Bicycle Day?
Yes, June 3rd. It was about promoting fitness and patriotism, with a special tribute to India's armed forces this time. And as part of this campaign, the 4th Akhil Maharashtra Pandharpur Cycle Wari Sammelan actually set a new record.
Oh, really? What was the record?
Largest ever cycling gathering in India. The cyclists collectively covered more than 10 lakh kilometers. It's quite something.
Wow.
This whole initiative, launched by the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports back in 2024, is really about encouraging cycling for health, tackling lifestyle challenges.
Good initiative. What about digital governance and transparency? Any new tools or portals?
Yes, the Ministry of Mines launched a new mining dashboard. It's a centralized digital platform to monitor the operational status of mineral blocks that have been auctioned off, track statutory clearances, that kind of thing.
Okay, making things more visible.
And the Ministry of Minority Affairs introduced the UMEAD Central Portal. UMEAD stands for Unified WAC Management, Empowerment, Efficiency, and Development. It's designed to ensure real-time digital inventory, geotagging, easier grievance redressal, and just general transparency in how WAC properties are managed and used.
Crucial steps towards making government processes more efficient, more accountable, and accessible, too.
Absolutely. And on consumer protection, the Central Consumer Protection Authority, the CCPA, issued an advisory about dark patterns compliance.
Dark patterns. Those are the deceptive website designs, right?
Exactly. They urged e-commerce platforms to conduct self-audits to basically get rid of these manipulative user interface designs. A dark pattern, just for clarity, is intentionally crafted to trick users into actions they might not want to take, like hidden subscription checkboxes or making it incredibly hard to cancel a service.
We've all been there.
We have. The new guidelines specifically target 13 of these kinds of manipulative tactics. They've also set up a joint working group to identify violations. It's a significant move to protect consumers in the digital marketplace.
Good to see. Now, boosting traditional medicine. Ayush.
Yeah, the Ministry of Ayush, in collaboration with Invest India, launched Ayush Nivesh Sarthi.
Nivesh Arthi, investor friend.
Something like that, yeah. It's a dedicated investor-centric digital platform specifically to promote investment in the traditional medicine and wellness sector. Remember, 100% foreign direct investment, FDI, is permitted in the Ayush sector under the automatic route.
Right.
So this platform aims to leverage Ayush even more as a key driver of India's, well, quite significant USD 13 billion medical value travel sector, attracting foreign capital, expertise.
Makes sense. And any enhancements to the electoral process?
A couple of things from the Election Commission of India, the ECI. They introduced something called the index card. It's a non-statutory statistical reporting format. Basically, uses automation and data integration to provide constituency-level data much faster and with fewer errors than the old manual processes. Covers both Lok Sabha and state assembly elections.
Streamlining the data flow.
Exactly. They also implemented a new standard operating procedure, an SOP, for delivering EPIC cards, the elector's photo identity cards. The goal is to ensure cards are delivered within 15 days of any updates or new registrations. This is supported by a new IT module on their ECNet platform. Clear efforts to make the process smoother and more secure.
Okay. What's happening in agriculture? I know there was a big campaign recently.
Yes, the 15-day Viksit Krishi Sankalp Abhiran campaign concluded. It wrapped up in Bardoli, Gujarat. It reached over 1.12 crore farmers across roughly 1 lakh villages. The focus was on promoting natural farming, crop diversification, mechanization, water efficiency, modernizing practices.
And natural farming seems to be a big push.
It is. A target of natural farming on 7.5 lakh hectares have been set for 2025. Gujarat is already leading in the production of certain crops like castor, cumin, fennel, and dates under these kinds of methods. Shows a concerted national effort towards sustainable agriculture.
Right. And on the anti-corruption front, the Lokpal.
The full bench of the Lokpal of India formally adopted a new motto, Empower Citizens, Expose Corruption.
Replacing the old one.
Yes, the one from 2019, which was Ma Garitha Kasyasivinam, meaning do not be greedy for anyone's wealth. This new motto signals a perhaps more proactive focus for India's apex anti-corruption ombudsman. Remember, the Lokpal was established in 2019, reflecting India's commitment as a signatory to the UN Convention Against Corruption.
Got it. Environmental responsibility. There was an initiative tied to World Environment Day.
Yes. Ek Padma Ke Naam 2.0 was launched. Ek Padma Ke Naam means one tree in mother's name. It encourages citizens to plant a tree in honor of their mother. The idea is to foster a personal, emotional connection to environmental protection.
And the target is ambitious.
Quite ambitious, 10 crore trees across India. It builds on the success they had with the first phase, which was mainly in Haryana.
And the Ministry of Education is involved too.
They are. They launched related initiatives like the Eco Clubs for Mission Life web portal. This promotes environmental awareness and sustainable practices in schools. Apparently, over 14.7 lakh schools have set up these clubs already.
Impressive number.
They also released 3 special age-appropriate educational modules on the Ek Padma Ke Naam theme, and even a microsite for people to upload selfies with the saplings they planted. It's a multi-pronged approach to instill environmental consciousness from a young age.
Finally, for this section, there was a review of 11 years of good governance under the Modi government. What were the key highlights mentioned?
Three main points were highlighted. First, on poverty alleviation. 25 crore people were lifted out of poverty in the last decade. Second, economically. India is now the fourth largest economy globally, with a stated target of becoming the third largest by 2029. And third, on social empowerment. The enactment of 33% reservation for women in parliament was cited. These figures are meant to highlight major socioeconomic shifts over that period.
Okay, let's broaden the lens again. India's presence on the international stage seems to be constantly growing. We saw that reflected in various summits, conferences, new agreements in June.
Absolutely.
It really showcases a strategic engagement with the world on multiple fronts, positioning India as a key global player.
It really does. These collaborations underscore India's expanding influence and also its role in tackling global challenges and opportunities together. Starting with some international gatherings, New Delhi hosted the International Air Transport Associations, that's IATA's 81st Annual General Meeting and World Air Transport Summit.
Not the first time India hosted this.
No, the third time, actually. A key takeaway from this summit was India's clear ambition to become a global maintenance, repair, and overhaul MRO hub by 2030. Leveraging its position, as the world's third largest domestic aviation market, it's a strategic play to capture a bigger slice of the global aviation industry pie.
Makes sense. On the environmental front, there was a conference focused on glaciers.
Yes, a high-level international conference on glaciers preservation held in Dushanbe, Tajikistan. Two major outcomes. 2025 was declared the International Year of Glaciers Preservation, and the decade 2025-2034 was named the Decade of Action for Cryospheric Sciences.
And India's own contribution.
India established a Center for Cryosphere and Climate Change Studies at the National Institute of Hydrology in Roorkee. Demonstrates commitment to this critical area of global climate research and action.
Okay. And involvement with maritime navigation standards.
Right. India participated as Vice President of the International Organization for Marine Aids to Navigation ILA Council meeting in Nice, France. During this meeting, India formally invited all member states to attend two upcoming events in Mumbai, the third ILA General Assembly in December 2025 and the 21st ILA Conference in 2027.
Hosting these big ILA events highlights India's growing role in setting global maritime safety standards.
Definitely. And staying with international organizations, New Delhi also hosted the third meeting of the ITUT Focus Group on Artificial Intelligence Native for Telecommunication Networks. ITUT is the telecom standardization sector of the International Telecommunication Union.
FGAN, etc.
That's the one, FGAN. The event included the launch of the FGAN Buildathon, designed to co-create practical AI-native network solutions. India also put forward proposals to host the main ITU Plenipotentiary Conference in 2030 and to maintain its seat on the ITU Council. Shows India wants to be at the forefront of shaping global telecom and AI standards.
Yoga diplomacy continues strong, too.
Very much so. Yoga Connect 2025, a hybrid global summit, was held in New Delhi by the Ministry of Ayush. Theme was Yoga for One Earth, One Health.
Yeah.
This was a key lead-up event to the 11th International Day of Yoga on June 21st. It also marked 10 years since the UN declared IDY back in 2014.
A decade of IDY. Did they release anything assessing its impact?
Yes, the Yoga Prabhava report was released, looking at the impact of IDY over the past 10 years. Reinforces yoga's global soft power and health benefits.
Interesting. And a conference about time.
Yes, sounds a bit unusual, but important. A roundtable conference on time dissemination was held in New Delhi. The theme was One Nation, One Time. It highlighted the ongoing time dissemination project. This is a collaboration between the Department of Consumer Affairs, CSIR NPL, National Physical Laboratory, and ISRO.
It's the goal, Uniform Indian Standard Time.
Exactly. Ensuring uniform synchronization of IST across all legal, commercial, administrative activities. They're using regional labs and atomic clocks to maintain this standard. New rules are apparently set to mandate IST synchronization soon. Crucial for national efficiency, network timing, things like that.
Right, subtle but important. What about the cooperative sector?
A national seminar on prosperity through cooperatives was held in Mumbai. This was to celebrate the UN-declared International Year of Cooperatives 2025. The Ministry of Cooperation, which was set up in 2021, remember, to empower farmers and strengthen the cooperative movement, announced plans to establish Tribhuvan Sakari University.
India's first national cooperative university.
That's the plan. Underscores the government's focus on revitalizing this sector.
And museums. Any new developments there?
Yes. The 47th Annual General Meeting of the Prime Minister's Museum and Library Society, the PMML, was chaired by the Prime Minister. They proposed creating a museum map of India and a national database for all museums. Also, establishing a youth committee to bring fresh perspectives into museum development and outreach. A holistic approach to preserving and modernizing India's cultural heritage infrastructure.
Makes sense. Wildlife conservation, ICCON 2025.
Right. The Indian Conservation Conference, ICCON 2025, was held at the Wildlife Institute of India, WII, in Dehradun. A key feature was the introduction of TechBridge. It's described as a first-of-its-kind wildlife technology forum focused on field innovations. Building on initiatives launched during Project Tiger's Golden Jubilee celebrations, shows it focus on leveraging technology for better conservation outcomes.
Okay, let's dive into some strategic MAUs and agreements signed in June. There was one involving AI and language technology for railways.
Yes. The Digital India Pashini Division, DIBD, signed an MOU with the Center for Railway Information Systems, CHSL. The goal is to collaboratively build and deploy multilingual AI solutions for key public-facing railway platforms. Think integrating Bhashini's advanced language tech stack.
Bhashini being the government's language translation platform.
Exactly. Integrating it into systems managed by CRIAS, like the National Train Inquiry System, NTES, and the Railmanad Grievance Portal. This aims to ensure digital access for railway users in all 22 official Indian languages. Big step for accessibility.
And DIBD signed another MOU in the Northeast.
Yes, with the government of Mizoram. This is to promote multilingual governance and empower the Mizo community through language technology. Mizoram follows Tripura, which was the first northeastern state to sign such an agreement with Bhashini. Clear step towards greater inclusivity, bridging language divides in digital services across the country.
What about startups and entrepreneurship, the Bharat Project?
Right, the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, DPIT, and Your Story Media Private Limited signed an MOU. It focuses on implementing this Bharat project. The aim is to promote inclusive entrepreneurship, strengthen the startup ecosystem, especially in Tier 2, Tier 3 cities, and even rural areas.
Reaching beyond the major metros.
Precisely. The initiative aims to empower 1 million entrepreneurs using AI-powered tools and, importantly, regional language storytelling to broaden the reach of India's startup boom.
Agriculture and climate resilience, ICRISAT launched something.
Yes, the International Crops Research Institute for the Semi-Arid Tropics, ICRISAT, launched its Center of Excellence for South-South Cooperation in Agriculture, or ISCA. This aims to accelerate agricultural innovation and collaboration across the Global South. And an MOU was also signed between ICRISAT and Dakshin, which is a Government of India initiative, specifically to strengthen the South-South cooperation through capacity building and development partnerships. Highlights India's role in global agricultural advancement.
Animal health security is always critical. Any developments there?
Significant one. The ICAR National Institute of High Security Animal Diseases, NIHSEE, in Bhopal, has been designated as a category, a Rinderpest holding facility.
Designated by whom?
By the World Organization for Animal Health, WOAH, and the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, of the UN. This places India among a really elite group. Only 6 global facilities are entrusted to safely hold Rinderpest virus-containing material. Remember, Rinderpest was globally eradicated in 2011, so safely managing remaining samples is crucial for biosecurity. It's a big achievement.
Definitely. Now, cybersecurity and banking, TRAI launched a pilot project.
Yes, the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, TRAI, launched a pilot for digital consent management. This is in collaboration with the RBI and some select banks. It tackles the problem of those unverifiable offline consents that are often used as a loophole for sending spam communications, promotional calls, texts, etc.
Trying to curb the spam menace.
That's part of it. The aim is to build a secure, interoperable digital consent registry. People can give and manage their consent digitally in one place. The pilot is being run under a regulatory sandboxes framework, which basically means they're testing it in a controlled, safe environment with real banks and customers before a potential wider rollout.
Smart way to test it. Focus on banking makes sense, given fraud risks.
Exactly. Banking sector is the initial focus due to its vulnerability to financial fraud stemming from unwanted communications.
Okay. There was also an 11-year review of science and technology milestones under PM Modi's leadership. What stood out?
A couple of things highlighted were landmark innovations like the indigenously developed DNA-based COVID vaccine, ZyCoV-D, and also the significant growth in India's bioeconomy. It reportedly grew from about $10 billion in 2014 to $165.7 billion in 2024.
That's massive growth and a future target.
Yes, targeting $300 billion by 2030. Showcases a remarkable trajectory in scientific self-reliance and economic growth in that critical biosector.
AI translation for broadcasting, a startup challenge.
Yes, The Ministry of Information and Broadcasting launched the WaveX Startup Challenge 2025. The theme is Bhasha Setu Language Bridge. It aims to spur the development of AI-powered, real-time multilingual translation solutions for 12 Indian languages, building tools for translation, transliteration, voice localization, making broadcast content accessible across language barriers.
Very interesting. International collaborations, India and Paraguay.
They established a joint commission mechanism. This is to enhance bilateral dialogue and cooperation across various sectors: agriculture, pharma, renewable energy, and importantly, critical minerals.
Andhra Pradesh government partnered with ISRO.
Yes, with ISRO's Satish Dhawan Space Center. The aim is to strengthen real-time, citizen-centric governance using space technology inputs, satellite imagery, data analytics, etc.
Biogas and biohydrogen.
The Indian Biogas Association and Indian Oil Corporation Ltd. signed an OU to jointly develop India's bioenergy and biohydrogen sector. Focus on sustainable energy.
And Andhra Pradesh again, this time with NVIDIA.
Right. A collaboration to establish a world-class artificial intelligence university in the state and foster a robust AI ecosystem. Significant investment in AI talent and infrastructure.
And for digital payment security. NPCI and IDRBT.
They teamed up. NPCI, National Payments Corporation of India, and IDRBT, the Institute for Development and Research in Banking Technology. The goal is to strengthen cybersecurity and resiliency across India's digital payment ecosystem. They launched an exclusive NPCI-certified payment security certification program tailored to industry and regulatory needs. Beefing up security is paramount as digital payments boom.
Absolutely. Global health dengue treatment.
The Serum Institute of India and the Drugs for Neglected Diseases Initiative, DNDi, are working together to accelerate the development of an affordable antibody treatment for dengue. The focus is specifically on accessibility for low and middle-income countries where dengue is a major issue.
Skills development in Gujarat. ADB loan.
Yes. The Asian Development Bank approved a $109.97 million loan for the Gujarat Skills Development Program. This supports advanced skills training, trying to improve employability in high-growth sectors within the state.
TCS partnered with a European bank.
Yes. Tata Consultancy Services, TCS, partnered with the Council of Europe Development Bank, the CEB. TCS will help modernize the CEB's reconciliation operations using AI and automation. Showcases Indian IT's growing expertise in digital transformation on a global scale.
Okay, defense and aerospace. A big partnership announced.
Huge one. Dassault Aviation and Reliance Aerostructure Limited formed a strategic partnership. They will manufacture Falcon 2000 business jets in India for global markets.
Made in India business jets for export.
Exactly. It's a landmark deal. Marks India's entry into next-generation business jet production. The first made-in-India Falcon 2000 is expected around 2028. Major step for indigenous manufacturing and high-end aerospace.
Space and connectivity satellite internet to phones?
Yes. Vodafone Idea Vi and AST Space Mobile have partnered up. They aim to provide direct-to-smartphone satellite services in India.
So, connecting regular smartphones directly to satellites.
That's the idea. Delivering 4G and potentially 5G connectivity from space, bypassing the need for traditional cell towers in some areas, could dramatically enhance coverage in remote regions, address connectivity gaps.
Game changer if it works at scale. Nuclear energy cooperation, World Bank and IAEA.
Yes, the World Bank Group and the International Atomic Energy Agency, the IAEA, agreed to work together. They'll support the safe and responsible use of nuclear energy in developing countries. This is significant because it marks the World Bank Group's first concrete re-engagement with nuclear power in decades. They're promoting nuclear as a viable low-carbon option to meet rising electricity demand globally.
What's the focus of their MOU?
Building nuclear knowledge, looking at extending the lifespans of existing reactors safely, and advancing small modular reactors, SMRs, which are seen as potentially more flexible and deployable.
And the World Bank also provided more financing for Sri Lanka.
Yes, an additional $50 million for Sri Lanka's General Education Modernization Project shows ongoing international support for educational development in the region.
All right, let's turn our attention now to the financial landscape. The dynamics shaping industries, banking, major investment moves. These are the gears that keep the economy ticking.
Indeed. And these insights often reveal, underlying strengths or emerging trends in India's financial and corporate sectors. Starting with banking sector innovations. Canara Bank made a move, became the first major public sector bank to remove charges for non-maintenance of minimum balance across all its savings bank accounts.
Effective from June 1st, that's quite customer-friendly.
Very. provides greater flexibility, financial relief to millions of their customers.
Motila Oswal Mutual Fund launched a new index fund.
Yes, India's first index fund based on the BSE 1000 Total Return Index. This index covers about 94% of India's listed market capitalization across 22 sectors. So it offers a really comprehensive, diversified investment option.
Union Bank introduced something integrating health insurance.
They did, called Wellness Deposit. It's India's first fixed deposit scheme that actually integrates health insurance cover with the term deposit product itself, blends financial security with health benefits.
Interesting combo. HDFC Bank launched a new current account.
Yes, Biz plus current account. It's designed to address the full spectrum of banking needs for Indian businesses. Features are modular, scalable, meant to adapt as a business grows through different life cycle stages.
Okay. Financial performance, IRETA got a good rating.
Excellent rating, actually. IRETA, that's the Indian Renewable Energy Development Agency, earned an excellent rating for the fourth consecutive year from the Department of Public Enterprises for its performance in 2023-24. It ranked among the top 4 central public sector enterprises, CPSEs, across India. Indicates strong financial health, operational efficiency for this key public entity focused on financing renewable energy projects.
LIC increased its stake in a bank.
Yes, in Bank of India. LIC grew its stake from 6.35% to 8.38%. This happened over a 4-year period, between 2021 and 2025, a notable move by India's largest insurer.
Punjab National Bank sold a stake.
Yes, PNB signed an agreement to sell its entire stake in India. SME Asset Reconstruction Company, Ltd, ISARC. The stated reason is to focus on core banking operations and exit non-core investments, a strategic move to streamline its portfolio.
International financial support India helped Maldives.
Yes, India rolled over a $50 million treasury bill for the government of Maldives. This is part of India's ongoing financial assistance program to support the island nation's economic stability. India has been extending these annual rollovers of T-bills since 2019 under a unique bilateral arrangement. Shows commitment to regional partners.
Globally, a shift in creditor nations.
A significant one. Germany achieved the milestone of becoming the world's leading net creditor nation. It surpassed Japan for the first time in 34 years since 1991. Indicates a shift in global financial power dynamics.
Urban Transformation Funding, the ADB, launched a big initiative in India.
Massive. The Asian Development Bank, ADB, launched a $10 billion urban transformation initiative for India, running from 2025 to 2030. It's a 5-year plan aimed squarely at transforming urban infrastructure across the country. The ADB plans to mobilize up to $10 billion.
And it aligns with Viksit Bharat at 2047.
Directly aligned, yes. This is the first time ADB has aligned such a large-scale urban investment initiative with India's long-term vision. The focus is on things like metro extensions, new regional rapid transit system, RTS corridors, improving basic urban services.
How is it funded?
It's backed partly by India's own Urban Challenge Fund, which will finance up to 25% of projects. The rest is expected to come from other sources like bonds, bank loans, and public-private partnerships, PPPs. Huge commitment to sustainable urban development.
GIFT City continues to attract banks.
It does. Multiple French banks, Natixis, Credit Agricole, and UAE banks, First Abu Dhabi Bank, Mashreq Bank, have either received approvals or formally applied to establish IFSC banking units, IBUs, in GIFT City, Gujarat. This continuous influx of international financial institutions really solidifies GIFT City's role as a global financial hub, enhancing its credibility and capacity.
Municipal bonds are gaining traction, too.
Gandhinagar. Yes, the Gandhinagar Municipal Corporation, GMC, listed a 25 crore municipal bond on the NSE. GMC became the youngest urban local body in India to issue such a bond, and the 17th overall in the country to list one. Aligns perfectly with the push for self-reliant, sustainable urban financing.
And in Maharashtra, Pimpri Chinchwad listed green bonds.
They did. Pimpri Chinchwad Municipal Corporation, PCMC, became the first civic body in Maharashtra to list green bonds on the BSE. They raised 200 crore exclusively for sustainable urban mobility projects. Green bonds are a vital tool for funding environmentally conscious urban development.
Mergers and acquisitions, any key approvals from the CCI?
The Competition Commission of India, CCI, gave a few notable approvals. Netherlands-based Currency Investments BV got the green light to acquire up to 9.99% stake in IDFC First Bank. CCI also approved Bain Capital's proposed acquisition of stakes in Manappuram Finance Ltd, MFL, and Manappuram Asset Finance Ltd,
MAFL.
And in the education sector.
Yes. Manipul Group's proposal to acquire a stake in Akash Educational Services was also approved by CCI.
These moves signal ongoing consolidation and strong investment interest in India's financial and education sectors, indicates growth, restructuring.
Digitalization of payments. RBI launched a documentary series.
They did quite an interesting outreach effort, a 5-part documentary series called RBI Unlocked, Beyond the Rupee. It was done in collaboration with GeoHotstar. It visually documents the RBI's 90-year history, a unique way to engage the public with the central bank's journey.
Insurance Awareness Initiative. Yes, the General Insurance Council of India launched Achakia Insurance LIA. Translates roughly to good thing you got insurance. It's an awareness initiative with a committed budget of 120 crore for the first year, aiming to boost insurance penetration in India, increase financial security for more citizens.
SBI launched a massive training program.
Huge one, called Super SBI, Great to Greater. It's described as the largest workforce transformation and skill-building program in Indian banking history, engaging 1.75 lakh employees. Alongside another program called Next LP, the aim is to inspire pride in SBI's legacy, equip employees for future challenges, address skill adequacy, and respond to employee feedback.
Finally, cybersecurity and cooperative banking, a new operations center.
Yes, this is important. The Maharashtra State Cooperative Bank launched Sahakar Suraksha Cooperative Security. It's India's first cybersecurity operations center, a CSOC, specifically for the cooperative banking sector. Initially, it will cover 31 district central cooperative banks in Maharashtra. The goal is to address cybersecurity gaps because these smaller rural and cooperative banks often lack the dedicated infrastructure and technical manpower of larger banks.
Definitely a needed initiative. Raises the question, though, how quickly can this vital security model be replicated across other regions to protect the broader financial ecosystem, especially the cooperative sector?
That's the key question, yes. Scaling this up could be critical.
All right, shifting gears now to the really cutting-edge stuff. We're seeing India make significant strides in AI, space technology, defense, and also taking a crucial look at how our understanding of the environment is evolving.
This area is particularly dynamic, isn't it? Reflects those global tech races, but also critical responses to environmental challenges we all face. Starting with AI and digital advancement, HCL Technologies signed the European Commission's AI Pact.
What's the AI Pact?
It's a voluntary framework. It promotes ethical, transparent, and safe AI practices. It was launched ahead of the formal EU AI Act, which is the world's first comprehensive legal framework for artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
So HCL signing on shows their commitment to responsible AI development on a global stage.
Starlink got its license in India?
Yes, Starlink, which is SpaceX's satellite internet service, received this license from the Department of Telecommunications, DOT. They can now provide satellite-based internet services in India. They're the third company to get such a license.
What does that mean practically for internet access, especially in India's vast rural or remote areas?
Well, potentially, it's huge for bridging the digital divide. Satellite internet can bring connectivity to regions where laying traditional fiber optic cables is really difficult or expensive. Could transform access for millions if the pricing and service work out.
Quantum communication breakthrough at IIT Delhi.
A big one, yes. IIT Delhi successfully demonstrated entanglement-based free space quantum communication over a distance of 1 kilometer. They used quantum key distribution, or QKD, which offers theoretically unbreakable encryption because any attempt to eavesdrop disturbs the quantum state and is immediately detectable.
And free space means no optical fibers needed.
Exactly, that's the key part. Eliminates the need for dedicated fiber lines, making it potentially useful for secure communication in challenging terrains or between moving platforms. Massive leap for secure comms.
AI in governance and agriculture, Krutrim made an acquisition.
Yes. Krutrim, the AI startup founded by Bhavesh Agarwal, acquired another company called Bharatsa Ayak. This move is aimed at strengthening Krutrim's presence in India's public sector AI ecosystem. It follows other AI applications they've developed, like Kumsa Ayak for managing crowds at the Mahakumbh 2025, and AMA Krushi AI, which is a voice-based assistant for farmers in Odisha, providing scheme info and agricultural advice in local languages.
Andhra Pradesh launched a quantum mission.
They did, establishing India's first quantum valley in Amaravati. The mission aims to promote advanced research in quantum computing, AI, and cybersecurity, partnering with major tech firms. It's a clear strategic investment in these deep tech next-generation technologies.
Google rolled out AI mode in search.
Yes, for select users in India initially. It's an experimental feature in Google Search designed to handle longer, more complex or exploratory queries. Uses advanced reasoning, Multimodality, meaning it can understand text, images, maybe more.
And Google opened a safety engineering center in Hyderabad.
Correct. Their first Asia-Pacific Safety Engineering Center, GSEC. The focus there is on protecting users from online fraud, securing enterprise infrastructure, content responsibility, those kinds of online safety issues. Shows a localized approach to global AI development and, crucially, security. And speaking of security, the month also apparently saw a record-breaking data breach reported, exposing over 16 billion usernames and passwords across major platforms globally.
16 billion. That's staggering.
It really is, and it just underscores the ongoing and, frankly, escalating challenges of cybersecurity in our hyper-digital world. It raises that constant question about how we stay ahead.
Okay, defense and aerospace milestones. India extended support to Angola.
Yes, India announced a $200 million defense credit line. This is to support the modernization of Angola's defense forces, strengthening defense ties with African nations.
The U.S. approved a tech sale to India.
Yes, the U.S. approved the sale of Hawkeye 360 technology to India, worth about $131 million. This tech involves satellites that can detect radio frequency signals, significantly enhancing India's maritime surveillance capabilities, especially in the wider Indo-Pacific region.
And a major export order for Reliance Defense.
A big one. They secured a 600 crore export order from Germany for high-tech ammunition, reported as one of the largest such orders to date for indigenous Indian defense manufacturing, shows growing export potential.
Indigenous capabilities, the Indian Army trialed a new UAV.
Yes, the Rudrastra hybrid VTEL UAV. VTEL means vertical takeoff and landing. It was developed by Solar Defense and Aerospace Limited. It has a reported range of 170 kilometers, successfully trialed by the Army, boosting indigenous drone capabilities for surveillance and reconnaissance.
Joint exercises were also prominent.
Quite a few. There was Exercise Conquest, a multinational military exercise in Mongolia, with the Indian Army participating. Interestingly, this started as just a U.S.-Mongolia bilateral exercise back in 2003. Then, Exercise Ashak Tiki, a joint military exercise between India and France, took place in France. The Indian Coast Guard inducted Acho, the fifth fast patrol vessel built by Goa Shipyard Ltd. A high-tempo passage exercise, or PASSEX, was jointly conducted by the Indian Navy and the UK's Carrier Strike Group in the North Arabian Sea.
And a first-ever exercise between Indian and U.S. Air Force Special Forces.
Yes, Exercise Tiger Claw 2025. First-ever independent Special Forces exercise between the two air forces, organized across North India. All these exercises enhance interoperability, build trust, and strengthen bilateral and multilateral partnerships.
Nuclear preparedness exercise, CONVEX 3.
Right. The world's largest international nuclear emergency exercise, CONVEX 3 2025, was launched by the IAEA and Romania. It tests global nuclear emergency preparedness by simulating a severe accident scenario, underscores the critical importance of international cooperation and rapid response mechanisms in nuclear safety.
Geopolitically, tensions flared between Israel and Iran.
Yes, reports surfaced about Operation Rising Lion, involving alleged Israeli airstrikes on Iranian nuclear facilities and military leadership, described as a preemptive strike against what Israel perceived as an imminent nuclear threat. Iran reportedly responded with Operation True Promise 3, targeting Israeli military sites. These events just highlight the incredibly volatile regional dynamics and the ever-present security challenges there.
And on the cyber front, a defense cyber agency exercise.
Yes, Cyber Suraksha, a comprehensive exercise run by India's Defense Cyber Agency, aimed to reinforce secure practices among military personnel and test cyber defense skills, reflects the growing importance of cybersecurity as a critical domain in national defense.
Okay, let's turn to environmental progress and some interesting discoveries. Bengaluru has emerged as India's leopard capital.
That's the headline, yes. Apparently, it surpassed Mumbai, with an estimated 80-85 wild leopards living in and around the city. Bannerghatta National Park, which is right on the edge of Bengaluru, alone recorded 54 leopards in 2025.
Wow. What does that mean for urban conservation efforts? How do cities like Bengaluru balance rapid development with protecting such significant wildlife populations living so close?
It raises really fascinating, complex questions about human-wildlife coexistence in these rapidly urbanizing landscapes. It requires very careful planning, habitat management, and community awareness programs, a real challenge.
Forest and wildlife corridors getting notified.
Yes, crucial steps being taken. The Telangana state government officially notified the Tiger Corridor connecting Kawal Tiger Reserve and Tadoba Andhari Tiger Reserve, which is in Maharashtra, as the Kumram Bheem Conservation Reserve. Protecting connectivity for tigers is vital. Tamil Nadu also designated the Greater Flamingo Sanctuary at Dhanushkodi. This preserves a critical stopover point for these migratory birds.
And India's first wildlife overpass corridor.
Yes, set up on the Delhi-Mumbai Expressway. It's situated strategically between Ranthambore Tiger Reserve and the Chambal Valley, allowing animals to cross the highway safely. These are really important steps for protecting biodiversity and ensuring safe movement for wildlife fragmented by infrastructure.
Geological and paleontological finds were also in the news. An old temple.
Yes, an 800-year-old Shiva temple, believed to be from the later Pandya period, was unearthed in Tamil Nadu during excavation work. And scientists uncovered 24-million-year-old fossil leaves in the Makam coalfield of Assam. It's interesting as they resemble the modern Nothopegia genus, which is typically found way down south in the Western Ghats today, raises questions about past climate and plant distribution.
And Salkhan Fossil Park got UNESCO recognition?
Added to the UNESCO tentative list for World Heritage Sites, yes. Located in Uttar Pradesh, it's recognized for its evolution of life value, containing some of the oldest known fossils on Earth. These discoveries add immensely to India's deep historical and natural heritage.
Finally, Environmental Days observed in June. World Environment Day.
All right, World Environment Day 2025 was on June 5th. The global theme was Beat Plastic Pollution, and it was hosted by South Korea. India celebrated under its own slogan, One Nation, One Mission, End Plastic Pollution, and launched related initiatives like the Aravalli Green Wall Project, which aimed to create green corridors along the Aravalli Hill Range.
Other days observed.
Yes. World Food Safety Day. Theme, Food Safety, Prepare for the Unexpected. World Day Against Child Labor. Theme, Let's act on our commitments and child labor. And World Day to Combat Desertification and Drought. Theme, United for Land, Our Legacy, Our Future. Were all observed with specific themes, highlighting ongoing global efforts on these crucial issues and India's participation in them.
All right, let's round things out with sports, arts, awards, and noteworthy personalities. From the roar of the IPL finals to groundbreaking literary awards and the recognition of exceptional individuals, June was packed with human achievement and significant cultural moments.
Absolutely. This section gives us a glimpse into the diverse accomplishments and the vibrant cultural fabric, both within India and beyond. Starting with sporting triumphs, cricket had some major highlights. The IPL 2025 finals saw Royal Challengers Bengaluru RCB finally win their first title.
RCB won. Big news for their fans. Any standout player performances?
Krunal Pandya became the first player ever to win the Player of the Match award in 2 different IPL finals, and Suryamar Yadav was named Player of the Tournament. In Test cricket, Jasprit Bumrah achieved a milestone. First Asian bowler to take 150 Test wickets in Senna countries, that's South Africa, England, New Zealand, Australia, surpassing Wasim Akram's record.
Impressive feat for Bumrah, and Rishabh Pant had a record-breaking Test too.
He did. Became the first Indian wicketkeeper to score centuries in both innings of a Test match. Also the first Indian batter to hit twin centuries on English soil in a Test. And he surpassed MS Dhoni's record for most Test centuries by an Indian wicketkeeper. Quite the match for him.
South Africa finally won an ICC trophy.
Yes, after 27 long years, they clinched the 2025 World Test Championship final. A huge moment for South African cricket. The ICC Hall of Fame inducted 7 new members. Notably, Mahendra Singh Dhoni became the 11th Indian cricketer to be inducted, recognizing his immense contributions.
And a new trophy for India-England tests.
Yes, the Anderson Tendulkar Trophy was announced. It will be the official trophy for all future India-England Test series, replacing older individual trophies. Honors 2 absolute legends of the game, James Anderson and Sachin Tendulkar.
Great tribute. Moving to global athletics, Neeraj Chopra.
He continued to dominate. Clinched his first Diamond League win in 2 years at the javelin throw event in Paris, and then followed it up with a gold medal at the Golden Spike meet in Ostrava, further solidifying his position as a global javelin icon. And a remarkable endurance feat. Sandeep Aryajanda set a new world record by performing 20,000 Surya Namaskars continuously.
20,000, how long did that take?
36 hours and 21 minutes. Incredible feat of endurance and focus.
Tennis. French Open winners.
Carlos Alcaraz won the men's singles title, and Coco Gauff took the women's singles title at Roland Garros.
Chess has seen Indian players making waves globally. Pragnananda.
Our Pragnananda had a fantastic month. Won his first ever Grand Chess Tour tournament title in Bucharest, then won the Youth Chess Cup Masters as well. These victories pushed him to become the highest-rated Indian chess player, surpassing Vishy Anand, and reached world number 4 in the rankings. Major achievement for the young grandmaster.
Any other Indian chess wins?
Yes. Indian Grandmaster Aravind Chidambaram won the Stepan Avajian Memorial Chess Tournament in Armenia, and Magnus Carlsen won his 7th Norway chess title. Also, the All India Chess Federation launched a new top national player stipend scheme to provide financial support to emerging chess talents. Good moves to nurture the next generation.
What about other sports? Sailing? Squash?
The Tri-Services All-Women Sailing Expedition successfully completed an 1,800 nautical mile voyage to Seychelles and back, showcasing skill and endurance. In squash, India achieved gold across all categories for the first time ever in any Asian or World Double Squash Championship. Historic performance.
India hosting more major events.
Yes. India will host the 2025 Asian Swimming Championships for the first time in Ahmedabad. And India also won the bid to host the 2029 World Police and Fire Games, growing presence as a host nation for international sports. Also, Srihari Nataraj won gold at the Singapore National Swimming Championship. The FIH Hockey Men's Junior World Cup 2025 will be held in Chennai and Madurai, Tamil Nadu. And the first edition of the Hockey India Masters Cup was also held in Chennai. Lots happening across different sports. Okay, let's move to awards and recognitions. Indian animation got noticed.
Yes. Desi Un, an Indian animation film by Suresh Ariat, won the jury award for Best Commissioned Film at the prestigious Annecy International Animation Festival in France. This film has been winning accolades globally, and it's even been archived at the Museum of Modern Art, MoMA, in New York. Showcases the rising talent and creativity in Indian animation.
Filmmaker Alexander Payne honored.
He will receive the Honorary Leopard Award at the Locarno Film Festival for his distinctive voice in modern American cinema.
Business and Leadership Awards. Kumar Mangalam Birla. Yes, Kumar Mangalam Birla, chairman of Aditya Birla Group, received the Global Leadership Award from the U.S.-India Strategic Partnership Forum, USISPF. And Lena Nair, the global CEO of Chanel Inc., was awarded the Commander of the Order of the British Empire, or CBE, honor in the UK's Birthday Honours List for her leadership in global retail. Makes her a very prominent Indian origin figure recognized internationally.
A prize for sustainable food systems.
Yes, NitroCap, the Swedish startup, won the Food Planet Prize for their innovative low-emission nitrogen fertilizer production technology. Recognizes crucial innovation in sustainable food systems. Also in the UK honors, David Beckham and Gary Oldman received knighthoods.
Digital Payments Award for IPPB.
Yes, India Post Payments Bank, IPPB, secured first position among all payments banks in the Digital Payments Awards 2025 by MEDI.
Tennis Award for an Indian player.
Yes, Indian tennis player Shravali Bamedapatiya received the Billie Jean King Cup Heart Award for her courageous performance representing India in the Asia Oceania Group I competition.
Sad news about a literary prize, though.
Very sad. The JCB Prize for Literature, which was India's most prestigious and valuable literary award for fiction, was discontinued. Apparently, the foundation supporting it had its FCRA license revoked by the government. Marks an unfortunate end to its significant contribution in promoting contemporary Indian fiction and translation.
Miss World was held in India?
Yes, the Miss World 2025 pageant was held in Hyderabad, Telangana. Opal Suchatachwansri of Thailand was crowned the winner. And during the event, Indian actor Sonu Sood received the Miss World Humanitarian Award for his charitable work.
All right, let's cover noteworthy individuals, appointments, retirements, milestones, lots of movement here.
A whole host of them. C.D. Old Ta was elected president of the African Development Bank Group. Professor S. Mahendra Dev was appointed chairman of the Economic Advisory Council to the Prime Minister, EACPM. Ashwani Lohani became director of the Prime Minister's Museum and Library, PMML.
Katrina Kaif appointed Bland Ambassador for Maldives Tourism.
Yes. Rajiv Mamani assumed office as president of the Confederation of Indian Industry, CII, for 2025-26. Arun Srinivas became Meta India head. Ali Wadi Long Kumar was appointed India's ambassador to North Korea, DPRK.
Sachin Tendulkar, brand ambassador of Reddit.
That's right. Siva Subramanian Raman took over as chairperson of the Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority, PFRDA. Cristiano Ronaldo was appointed global ambassador for the Esports World Cup. Professor Suman Chakraborty became the new director of IIT Kharagpur. Ravi Agarwal was reappointed chairman of the Central Board of Direct Taxes, CBDT.
Amitabh Kant took on a new advisory role.
Yes, appointed senior advisor to Fairfax Financial Holdings Ltd. Professor Anantha Chandrakasan became the first Indian American to be appointed provost of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, a huge role. Blaise Metroelli became the first female chief of MI6, the UK's secret intelligence service. Sandeep Kataria stepped down as the global CEO of Bhatia Group. He was the first Indian to hold that position. Tangiti Janavi became the first Indian astronaut candidate selected for Titan Space Industries' 2029 commercial orbital mission.
Kirsty Coventry heading the IOC.
Yes, Kirsty Coventry of Zimbabwe became the first woman and the first African to be elected president of the International Olympic Committee, IOC. Historic appointment. Professor M. Satish Kumar was appointed the first dean of Queen's University Belfast's new campus in Gift City, Gujarat.
And an Indian astronaut reached the ISS.
Yes. Shubhanshu Shukla became the first Indian astronaut to reach the International Space Station, ISS, as part of a privately contracted mission, Axiom 4. This marks India's return to human spaceflight after a gap of 41 years since Rakesh Sharma's flight. A truly momentous occasion.
Absolutely fantastic. Now, retirements and other milestones. Sports retirements.
Several cricketers announced retirements from international cricket. Glenn Maxwell, Australia, Heinrich Klaassen, South Africa, Piyush Chawla, India, and Nicholas Purin of West Indies. Also, Lalit Kumar Upadhyay announced his retirement from international hockey for India.
Manpreet Singh hit a milestone in hockey.
He did. The Indian hockey midfielder earned his 400th international cap, becoming only the second Indian male hockey player, after Dilip Turkey, to reach this incredible milestone. In academics, Faizan Zaki, a 13-year-old Indian-American boy, won the Scripps National Spelling Bee Finals in the U.S. And a political note from Bangladesh. The interim government there officially removed the title Father of the Nation previously bestowed upon Sheikh Mujibur Rahman.
Obituaries. Sadly, we lost some notable figures in...
Yes. We noted the passing of Sanjoy Munga, known as the Birdman of Mumbai, for his work on avian conservation. Vijay Rupani, former Chief Minister of Gujarat, tragically died in a plane crash. Mark Garneau, the first Canadian astronaut in space, passed away. Ustad Ghulam Nabi Shah, a renowned Kashmiri Sufiana Mausiki singer, passed away. Bill Atkinson, a pioneering Apple software engineer who developed key Mac technologies like Mac Paint and HyperCard, died. Maruti Chittampalli, noted environmentalist and Marathi writer known for his work on forests and wildlife, passed away. Frederick W. Smith, the visionary founder of FedEx Corporation, passed away. And Dilip Rasiklab Doshi, the former Indian left-arm spinner who played Test cricket, also passed away this month.
A diverse group of accomplished individuals. Finally, let's quickly touch upon some noteworthy literary releases from June.
Okay. Wings to Our Hopes by President Draupadi Murmu was released. It's a collection of her selected speeches. Indira Gandhi and the Years That Transformed India by Professor Srinath Raghavan came out, delving into constitutional transformations during the emergency era. India, 5,000 Years of History on the Subcontinent by historian Audrey Trishka presents a panoramic account. Modi's Niti Shastra, The World's His Oyster, by Dr. Adish C. Agarola, offers an analysis of India's legal transformation under PM Modi. History That India Ignored by veteran journalist Prem Prakash sheds light on lesser-known aspects of India's freedom struggle. A commemorative book celebrating V.V. Kumar at 90 honored the legendary former India leg spinner V.V. Kumar. And The One, Cricket, My Life and More, a memoir by cricketer Shikhar Dhawan, was also released.
Wow, okay. We have covered an incredible amount of ground today, from those monumental infrastructure projects like the USBRL to breakthroughs in AI like quantum communication, major diplomatic engagements. It's pretty clear June 2025 was a month of really dynamic shifts and remarkable achievements, both for India and globally.
Indeed. The sheer volume, and maybe more importantly, the diversity of these developments we've discussed, it just underscores how interconnected everything is in our global landscape now. And, as India continues to innovate, to expand its influence with all these firsts we talked about, and these policy shifts, they aren't just isolated events, are they?
No, they ripple outwards.
Exactly. They're actively shaping not only India's own domestic future, but also fundamentally altering its role, its weight in the emerging global order. It really invites you, the listener, to keep exploring the deeper implications of these trends and think about how they might impact the world, and maybe even you down the line.